If you like fishing with live bait, like minnows, leeches, or shrimp, but if you're out fishing in a 100-degree day, you lose half of your bait because your water in your minnow bucket gets too warm and you don't have aeration, I've got the perfect solution for you. This is one of the best live bait coolers I've ever used. Last year and the year before, I was using Frabill bait coolers. I did some reviews on those. They are good bait coolers, but this one is a step above the rest. Keep watching and I'll explain why. So at the end of last season, I sold both my Frabill bait stations, and this is a picture on Amazon of what they look like. I'll be kind of comparing this to those as far as regards of why this one is better. So here's a lot of reasons of why this is superior product to the Frabill. One, if you look on the front here, there's dual latches to hold the lid down securely. One thing with the Frabill, it never did pop open, but the latch is plastic and it is very cheaply made. Now, if you're going over some rough water, or maybe you have this in the back of your SUV going over a bumpy road, the Frabill does leak water. The lid does not seal completely. This one, you can turn it. This is full of water. You can turn it on its side, flip it upside down. It does not leak any water. Now with the Engel, you do get a 2-speed pump. This is a much better built pump. It's actually sealed a lot better. The one from Frabill, if you get it wet, you will get water inside of it. And to turn it between the 2 speeds, you got a toggle right here. There's not a huge difference between the pump, but it is a 2-speed. Now this runs on 2D batteries, or it also comes with a cigarette lighter adapter. So with the Frabill, you got 2D batteries. That was your only choice. Once those batteries went dead out in your boat, if you didn't have a spare set, you're pretty much out of luck. If you have a cigarette lighter adapter in your boat, simply plug it into here and save your batteries. Now, a common thing that I do, I'll go get my minnows after work around 4 o'clock on Friday. I simply plug this in, put this in the back of my SUV, I plug it into the cigarette lighter adapter in the back, and I don't use any battery power off of this pump. Keeps the minnows nice and alive all night long. Once I get to the boat launch, simply unplug this, I leave that in the car, and just run off the D batteries for the rest of the day. Now another difference, Engel runs the air tube through the lid of the cooler, whereas Frabill runs it through the side, through a couple different connections. So if we open up this lid, you'll see where the tube comes out right here and down into the water. The one thing I noticed for sure, on a very hot day, the water in the Engel stays much cooler than it ever did in the Frabill. Now also, the Engel doubles as a cooler. You could put a 6-pack of beer in there, 6-pack of pop. You'll pull this line out, simply plug that hole, throw a little ice in it, and 12 hours later you still have ice in it. This cooler is highly insulated. Both coolers do come with a net so you can easily retrieve your bait. But the net on the Engel cooler is a little bit thicker, it's a little bit better made. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the pump to the speed number 1. Notice the aeration bubbles. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn it to speed 2. Now for me, I just leave it on speed 1. In 24 hours, a couple dozen minnows in there, you might only lose 1 minnow. If you put it on speed 2, maybe you wouldn't lose any, but speed 1 works good for me. Now another difference, and I give this to the Frabill, is the Frabill is a little bit quieter. You notice this pump is a little bit noisier than I'd like it to be, and the Frabill is definitely quieter. Now Frabill does have a bait station called the Magnum bait station. It's a little bit closer quality to this one than the other one that I used last year. However, you have the same pitfalls. The water leaks, you have plastic latches instead of metal. It's just not the quality of the Engel. So as a recap, the Engel cooler, much better build construction, much better latches. It's actually water sealed. Much better pump, although the pump is a little bit noisier than the Frabill. You have the option of a DC cigarette lighter, and they do supply an AC adapter, but that is sold separately. So there is an additional cost. You can actually plug it into a normal outlet, something that Frabill doesn't have. So if you guys are looking to keep your minnows, crayfish, shrimp, leeches, whatever, alive longer in your cooler, because bait is getting more and more expensive. This is the live bait cooler you want. Hope you guys found this video helpful and informational, and thanks for watching.